Hey guys, um, it's been a while. You know what I'm saying? I've been grinding though. I have never stopped learning, still reading. Just wanted to sit back a little bit and work on myself. I didn't want to make videos just to make videos, and I stopped getting the downloads like I was, and I ain't want to force it type thing. Um, but I'm good, man. I just got the MacBook Pro, um, and we should be rolling. Um, I must admit to you guys, the reason I got the MacBook Pro because I've been working out. I've been good, man. I've been good lately, and I've been getting these things to talk about, and it's been exciting. But I have a computer, so I just like wrote them down and got them out anyway. And I was like, hey, let me share it. So one of the things that we can just dive in real quick is loving yourself, right? Um, Loving yourself is it's a journey. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it takes a lifetime. Hey, there's levels to it, you know what I'm saying? But the good thing and then there's different bodies of loving yourself, right? You have your physical body, right? You have to love that. You have your emotional body. You have to love that, right? You have your spiritual body. You have to love that. You got your ego, right? And then you have your heart, right? Your heart. But there's all different bodies. I don't know them all, but it's a lot of 'em. All right. So um the benefit of loving yourself, right? Treating yourself as good as you can is that when someone doesn't, you'll recognize it, right? So if you treat yourself good, you take yourself to eat, you eating right, you treating yourself, you maybe take yourself on a trip, you giving yourself self-love, you meditating, you feel good, you feel amazing. And then when someone enters your life, you can automatically know, well, not automatic, it don't take long for you to be like, nah, I'm good, right? But then, because that's one of the things that you have to learn. If you love yourself, would you, is it okay for someone to treat you bad? Is it okay to someone to love you? I mean, to yell at you? Is it okay for someone to do things to you? And was it okay for you to poison your body? Is it okay for you not to exercise? And is it okay to not process your emotions? Is it okay to, different things? Right? So loving yourself goes to accepting what you're willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept. And then the more you love yourself, your your acceptance of you basically get to zero tolerance, right? Because you are very comfortable in your own skin, right? But yeah. Um and loving yourself, I would say on a spiritual tip, it comes from listening to your heart, right? More than you listen to your ego. Right, and that's the journey, you know what I'm saying? Because your true self, God, the perfect, the all-knowing, it's in your heart, right? Not your ego, right? Ego is flight or fight, greed, it's all about me, fear, nervous. I gotta, I need 300 pair of shoes. I need a bunker with thousands of water where people are hungry. I need $1 billion, right? When when people don't even have fresh water, don't even have. sh- Uh, um, I'm not saying having $1 billion is wrong, right? But it gets to a point where you have so much money, and that's amazing. But there's people who don't, right? And yeah, there's places where there is opportunity, right? So you don't feel as bad for them because you had opportunity, right? But then there's a lot of places that don't have any opportunity, right? So yeah, we're getting off topic here. So yeah, living in your heart, right? So when you live in your heart, right, you start upping your vibration immediately because it becomes louder. That voice becomes louder. and that ego gets lower, right? And then you stop being your fear. You're not really like, man, I ain't worried about that. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like everything I need will be provided to me when it needs to be provided. I ain't stressing. If it ain't happening, it ain't meant to be type thing. It'll happen when divine time, right? So you stop stressing, you stop, fearing, um, yeah. So loving yourself. Let's get back on topic. So loving yourself, the levels to it is that when you increase your vibration, do doing the right thing, listen to your heart, giving to others, meditating, eating higher quality foods, your vibration increases, your frequency increases, right? The good thing about that is that you're able to um handle more of the responsibility of having God's light, right? Which is the true currency, right? The true currency is how much of God's light are you able to contain in your body, right? That's how that is the only thing that matters, and that's the only thing that is like how bright are you? You know what I'm saying? And there's gifts and you know, like you look younger. You know what I'm saying? You're full of energy, you're full of life. You just feel amazing. Feel great. I don't need to drink. I don't need to do this. I just feel great already. I wake up, I feel amazing. You know what I'm saying? That's awesome. The more you get into yourself naturally, the more you just feel great. Healing. You know what I'm saying? Like my knee used to be messed up. Now I play basketball 5 days a week. Ride Peloton for 2 or 3 hours. 2 hours, not three, 2 hours. But yeah, so you just heal up. Um, yeah. And that all comes from loving yourself and just being a good person. I mean, all of this, you see the people who aren't going that route, right? That they negative all the time. They can't produce their own energy, so they gotta take yours. You know what I'm saying? They're vampires, right? Because they want to feel good. And you got a lot of energy. So I could feel good if I take some of your energy, right? Because they can't produce their own type thing. You know what I'm saying? Because their vibration is so low, you know. Um, that's another thing, right? When you increase your vibration, right, you only experience people on your level. And that is hard to deal with, right? So if you have a friendship that was, and you said, you know what, I'm gonna start doing this, this, and this, and this, and you get to a point where your vibration is higher than that person, that might end that friendship. You know what I'm saying? And it hurts, but you have to make a choice. You know, do I lower my vibration so we can hang out, right? Or do you increase your vibration so we can hang out? And if none of us are willing to do either one, then that relationship is is over. And then there's new relationships that come into you. So if you start meeting new people and people are kind of like maybe a little bit better, more on a it's not better, a little bit on uh, a higher or 2 years away from where you could be in that particular category, or you might meet somebody that might be a year. You might be a year better than them in a certain category, but you're kind of on the same thing. You're trying to improve. They're trying to improve. Right? In these categories. You know what I'm saying? You've been working out on your spirituality for 2 years. You meet somebody that's doing it for six, and then you might meet somebody that's doing it for 3 months, but y'all kind of rolling together type thing, you know. Yeah. And when you increase your vibration, it gets to a point where everyone that's not for you, they just don't want to be around you because you irritate them. You know what I'm saying? Your vibration is too high to a point where you make them face themselves, right? So a lot of people take medicine and do this and do that to avoid themselves. And you walk in there, and your vibration's high, you make them face themselves, right? So I experienced a lot of different people just being angry at me, just being irritated because, and I didn't do, I would, we even, am I doing anything to you? They'd be like, no, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, all right, I know what this is, right? So that's another thing, right? If when you first up your get to a certain point, you'll lower your frequency a couple times. And then you're like, man, I don't feel good. I was just feeling amazing. I feel like, what I'm saying? Then you get to a point, I ain't lowering my vibration. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? You get the reason that you're so confident because you did it so much that you realize that you don't want to do it anymore. And that's one of the great experiences, right? That's why you want to let people go left sometime, because that might be the best thing for them. Like for me, I sat on the couch, I played video games, you know, I I was lazy. And that's how I know that I don't like it because I've tried it. You know what I'm saying? You can't even sleep because your body's like, yo, we ain't really do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Why are we sleeping? You know? So, but when you do things and you learn and you study and you improve, and that's what you're here to do, you sleep like a baby. And then you're excited to wake up the next day because you know that you'll be a better version of yourself than you was previously, right? So it's exciting. Like I put the work in, let me sleep and let it process, let it rest, let it balance and be better tomorrow. And every night becomes like Christmas. So it's amazing. Um, but yeah, so whoever's not for you goes. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll just start knowing stuff, right? You're like, dang, I just know this. I don't know how I got it, but I know it. And it's a knowing for sure. And then when someone lies to you or they're dishonest, you can feel it. You can tell, you can sense it very easily, right? And that person might be lying to themselves, right? And telling you their truth that they told to themselves, but you still know that it's not you lying. You ain't being honest. You ain't being truthful. So that's one of the benefits. Yeah. So um, also with the podcast thing, right? I sat back and it seems that people are starting to be more awakened that hey, there's something else going on, which is great. People are saying, love and light a lot more, and that's positive. So it's good to see. Humanity as a whole working to be improve, be better, be more humane, be more unified. Letting go of the illusions. They say that main the only thing that's real is unconditional love, and everything else is an illusion. And if you really think about it, it's so true. Like let me give an example. Business. Well, it's not personal. It's just business. What is that? That's just an excuse for you to do cruel things to somebody and not just and justify it within yourself, right? So you pay somebody $3 an hour. You could pay them $20 an hour, $30 an hour, $50 an hour. Pay them $3 an hour. Why? 'Cause it's not personal. It's just business, right? That's is that right? Is that unconditional love? Oh, is that the right thing to do? You know what I'm saying? This guy does all the work. You make 100,000. They make $5, $10, $20. But that person doesn't have to do it. But do they though? What other choices do they have? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's just one of the examples that's on my mind. It's all personal. It's all personal. You know what I'm saying? Screwing people over is wrong. Not doing good for others is wrong. Unconditional love is the true thing. Everything else is a lesson and illusion. And you can find out for I'm going off topic, but it's a podcast. It could last hours. So money, money is a frequency, right? You can easily YouTube and figure it out, but it's also a lesson, right? And the lesson is that you don't need it, right? When you get to a level of frequency, abundance, because source is abundant, God is abundant, right? So everything that is amazing, there's a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? So when you get to a point where you know that everything that you want or desire will just be handed to you, right? And you don't need money because you ha- you have you know what I'm saying? Once you get to that point, I'm not at that point yet, right? But once you get to that, but I can read it and understand it, is that it's an illusion. And once we as a humanity get to a certain point, we won't even need it. And that's how you know it's an illusion because it updates based on our consciousness level, right? So it's about to update again, right? Humanity's consciousness, believe it or not, people are getting better, right? People are getting more humane. People are, so everything is a consciousness level. So our money will improve, right? The way that we conduct business, labor, would, with these robots and stuff, you know what I'm saying? People are going to get paid more to be creative. People are going to be able to get paid more for doing their sole purpose, but doing what they're here to do. People are going to get paid more of the ability of how much bright they are, how much God light you're able to contain. And that's another thing, right? Is that our eyes don't see. We're barely out here blind, really. We don't see a lot of this stuff, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. There's technology out here. There is there is systems out here that knows how much godlike you're able to contain in your frequency, that looks at you as that, right? So when they see you, they see how bright you are. Oh shoot, there's technology that can tell how much light you're able to contain in your body, right? Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's there. You can feel it. Maybe we'll be able to see it one day, but that definitely. All right. So yeah, I'm way off topic here, but I haven't talked to you guys in a while, so I have months of knowledge ready to just throw at you, so you can research on your own, see what's up. So yeah, loving yourself. There's a lot of benefits. It's kind of the main thing because imagine if everybody was walking around the best version of themselves. All right, imagine how much better this world could be if you just be you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is a different idea of God expressing itself, right? And if you are on your best version of that, then that's amazing because you're giving back you. Nobody is like you, right? And you're helping others. You're letting people see, wow, that's who I want to be. That's what I want to do. Besides the athletes, right? Not everybody can be an athlete. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's supposed to be an athlete, right? Not everybody can is musically gifted, right? But you have something that you can do that's very easy to you that no one else can do, right? And what is that? Right. And haven't seen people besides that are happy and successful is nice to see. Right? And you inspire the younger generation. I inspire people all the time. You know what I'm saying? By just being me and trying to be the best version of me. You know what I'm saying? Um, so that's another benefit. Um, doing good deeds, right? How does good deeds work? Right. So we're all connected energetically, everyone, right? So when you do a good deed, you kind of like it kind of gets into the connection, right? And one good deed could outdo 1,000 bad deeds, right? So doing good deeds and helping others is kind of saving the planet, saving the world. If no one knows it, it it's it's really cool. Um, all right. So we got to a point, loving yourself, loving yourself. Yeah, loving yourself. It's you have some people who do it with spirituality. You have some people who do it physically, right? You have some people who do it intellectually, emotionally, like but the goal is to do it in every category, right? The goal is to be anything that represents you, try to make it at the highest level. You know what I'm saying? And that's the goal. Because I guess I wouldn't say you're only good as your weakest link. That's not what I'm trying to say. But if you are 1,000 pounds and you are telling someone to love themselves, it's it's not as believable because it, yeah, you can kind of figure out what I'm saying. David Goggins, right? I don't want to listen to someone who preaching of how to do good. I want to listen to somebody who's actually doing good. I want to listen to somebody who's like, "Dang, what's up, man? Man, I'm just thinking I gotta do this again tomorrow." That type of thing, right? So yeah, blockages, right? Blockages, 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 right? So there's different kind of blockages, right? And it's all has to do with you forgiving you, you dealing with you. You're kind of in control of that, right? So if you have trauma that you haven't dealt with, right? Or you have childhood issues that you haven't dealt with, you know what I'm saying? You gotta deal with that. You know what I'm saying? You basically they say the unforgivable sin is the sin that you can't forgive yourself for, right? And those are blockages. And also our food, our food is being, our food is not, it's got other stuff to it, right? We've been eating chicken and fish for forever. Why we get to gain 600 pounds when we eat it type thing, right? So you got to exercise to just burn it up. Get that energy moving to a point where it just eats up those chemicals that they're putting in our food and stuff to destroy us. It's easily noticeable when you travel outside because you be like, y'all eat so much food, but y'all don't gain no weight. How are we gaining 1,000 pounds? I don't even eat that much. Anyway, off topic, right? But yeah, um, then there's setups, right? Right, especially when there's feelings involved, right? So let's say you run into someone that's they don't show you them true selves, right? They show you their best version of themselves, which kind of everyone does, right? And then they trap you, right? You trap, right? And then you show them true selves, right? But then all you think about is the thing that they showed you to trap you, right? And then not treating you well, good, not treating you good, not treating you good, not treating you good, treating you good. What do you do? Right? Hey, if you love yourself, you shouldn't let nobody treat you that bad, right? If they love you, why are they treating you bad? Right. So these are the things that come up. These are the things, and this comes with friendships. This comes with everything, right? And it all ties in that you wouldn't even know if you don't even focus on yourself, then it's really hard to know if someone's doing that to you, right? Because you're doing it to yourself, so you're used to that feeling. I'm used to hurting myself. I'm used to not treating myself good. I'm used to not taking myself on vacation. I'm used to not spending time with myself. I'm used to sacrificing myself to a point where I gotta. So if someone else does that to you, you're used to it. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing and why it's so important, right? Also, when you're not doing right and you're not vibrating right, your body breaks down. You know what I'm saying? It breaks down. It's like, man, like I ain't got enough God light in me. I don't feel good. And I've been dealing with that feeling through things that make me feel good for a second, but then they make it 30 times worse, right? Then your knees messed up, and your back start hurting, then everything start hurting. You start aging, you start looking like you know, like like you 70 years old. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm not saying anything against 70-year-old people. Okay, let's say you look like you're 200 years old. So it all trickles down. You know what I'm saying? Because it all breaks down to this. Love yourself, right? That is, if you just do that, you're amazing. Be the best version of yourself. Then love others, right? Now, that is it. Be yourself, the best version you can, love others. You know what I'm saying? That's it. If everyone can do that, then we'd be set as humanity. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you feel different about things than I do, but that's beautiful, right? Because if you felt the same way, then how would we grow? How would we discuss of what should we do or not do? It's amazing that you feel different than I do, right? And it's amazing that these kids can show us a whole different way of thinking, whole different type. The older generation with the wisdom. Hey, I've done it this way 1,000 times. That's why I'm telling you that this might be the way to go. All working together, right? Because it's designed that way. We all got a little piece of the puzzle, and we have to work together to move forward. And that's how it's that's how it is, right? So yeah, man. So I'm not gonna take too much of your time, but yeah, love yourself, treat yourself good. If you slip up, it's all good. Move on. Move on. Later.